What's up everybody, this is Vincent and today I got a video for you. It's about tips and tricks on being a killer in a game called Dead by Daylight. Hope you guys enjoy it and hope this helps you in the game. Without further ado, here it is. Alright, to start it off, this is what I'm going to tell you. If you want to know how to kill a survivor, first you must play as a survivor. It is very helpful. I usually play survivor anyways. I don't play too much killer, but I play it enough to know how to do it. I have played survivor a lot, and in doing so, I know what survivors do. I know how they act, I know where they like to go, where they like to be, how they like to move around, how they like to mess with the killer, and how they like to think. So for me doing that, when I'm a killer, I can relate to the survivors. So when one thing happens, let's say I hook someone and there are still 3 other people alive, I know that at least 1 or 2 people will be wanting to get the survivor that I hooked off. They will want to help him. So if you know how survivors act, it helps you be a good killer. Another good tip is to use your ears. If you watch this video, you will hear someone dropping a hook, and that is how I found him. Another good tip is to never follow your opponent in a straight line. If he goes one way, he'll be most likely taking down a pallet, and you want to go the other way as soon as possible. Also, always break down pallets. You get plus 100 points for destruction breaking a pallet. And always follow the scratch trails. They help you so much, and they are very useful to follow and easy to follow as well if you see them early enough. Always remember that you can sometimes hit someone through a window even though they've already went over it. And again, always break the barriers. Here I seen the scratches and I noticed that there was someone around because they were still there, and I started using my ears to know where she was going. Now what you just saw there was me faking going around the other way to make her go over this barrier. So always fake your opponents. If you go one side and you know they're wanting to go on the other side, don't go all the way over the other side, just then go back to where it makes it look like you're going one side, but then you go the other and you mess them up. And again, I'm following the tracks and I keep following. Don't ever go in a straight line. Like I said, she went to the right and I knew she was going to do that, so I went to the right earlier instead of going in a straight line, and I caught up with her. And again, always using that window. They slow down whenever we're going through the window, so it's an easy way to hit them. Always smart to put a trap down if you are using trapper. That is a smart technique. But if you do that, make sure that no one is around, or no one will be running around near the hooked person. So if you do know someone's around, don't put it down, because they'll just walk up behind you and take the person off the hook. Now, like always, don't camp the hook. Like what I was doing here, I walked away and then I started walking back. I do that a lot, and the person got off and got caught by my trap. Again, following the tracks. Not every time can you hit them through the window, so don't get too used to doing that. But there is a good example of knowing that you're able to grab them through the window. Not all the time do you have to hit them. Sometimes the animation just makes you grab them instead, which is a lot better. Always watch your hook whenever you are about to leave, making sure that no one is coming around. I heard that person working on the generator, so I knew there's someone there already, and I went there and found her, and then put her on a different hook. So it's always smart to always use your ears, and never keep your eyes off the survivor. Again, I left, and the same thing happened again, and you can tell that one person I hit, and now she is crawling on the ground, so it's always a smarter idea to go for the person that I need to go for. Always know who you need to get. There are many situations, which I will explain later, that you need to do, but it's always smart to memorize them and know who is better to go for. And you can tell I see scratch marks, which I thought it meant that someone just passed me and was going to go unhook the person, and that was not the case. I saw some more over on the left, so I went that way, but then I started going around, and I had no idea where the person was, but I kept looking anyways. Found out that the person on the hook was just dying, so it was useless to stay around. So I kept walking around, seeing if I could find anybody. And then I saw some more scratches, and I saw the person in the cornfield. It's always good to try your best not to move your mouse too much to where it makes everything hard to see. And it's always a good idea, if you are able to, put them in the dungeon. And the reason that's smart is you don't have to camp the dungeon at all, basically. It's very useless to camp it. All you gotta do is leave it, and when you do, you can just wait for them to get unhooked, and if you're close enough by, you can trap them in the dungeon and hit them both at the same time. Or hit one and then hit the other. As you can see, there's a person that's going in the dungeon trying to unhook someone, and he does exactly that. Somehow I miss. But I hit one person, and he tries running away, and then I just hit the other. And if you can look at the bottom left, there's already 2 dead people, and then I get the last 2. So that was a good game, good strategy. It's always smart not to camp the hook. People think they always gotta camp the hook, which it's not smart to do that. That just wastes your time, and it makes everyone do everything else. If you're camping the hook and they know that you're camping it the whole time, they're just going to be doing generators and getting generators while you're just standing there in front of the person that's hooked. Another good tip is always knowing where the escape tunnels are. It's very important, and I know it's hard to memorize it because in some maps they do become random. I don't know exactly. I think all of them maybe? I have no idea. But I know they don't always go in the same place. The reason you need to know it is because if there's only one person left and 3 generators are being used, that means that the last player is able to use an escape tunnel without taking all the generators off. Now I thought this was a cool little part to add in because some people just give up at the end, and I thought it was funny how I was able to make this guy do what I wanted and walk into my trap purposely. So I just thought that would be hilarious and a nice little addition to this video. Alright, some of you might be wondering, if there are 2 people that I am chasing, which one should I go after? Well, if you look at this diagram, I will show you. This diagram talks about the different situations that you can have. And if you meet multiple people at once, and you notice that there is one that is injured, always go for the injured person. Injured person is over all the others, because you need to get those kills in order to win. If you meet multiple people and neither of them are injured, but one of them has a toolbox and one of them has a medic pack, always go for the toolbox first, because sabotaging will mess up your day. The only reason you should go for the medic first is if there are multiple people that are injured, because the medic will just heal them all over again, so you would want to get the medic first. And the last situation I could think of is if neither of them is injured and they do not have an item at hand, just go for the player that you have noticed is better than the other ones. If you find multiple people, you can tell them apart, and you know one is good and all the other ones are bad, go for the good player. Always go for the good player, because the bad players are easier to catch, and you will catch them later after you get done ruining the good player's day. Here is another example of what I mean by knowing who to kill. I just got done hitting this guy and I broke down the barrier and I started following his tracks. And right when I do, I meet another guy. They looked exactly the same, but I could tell he was not injured, so I knew it was not him. But I noticed the injured guy was on the left. So I started following him instead, because it was a smarter idea to do that, because then I caught up with him and I hit him again, and then I got the kill. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope this helped you in any way, shape, or form. Please comment down below what you thought of it. If you'd like anything like this again, because I am planning on making videos over how to play well on the different types of killers. So if you would like to see that, please comment down below and I'll definitely make that, because it's a lot of fun to make. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.